Alrighty, so the new Demon Chandler is coming out, and oh boy, is he kind of rough around the edges. I've been really tempted to skip this banner myself, but I guess as a content creator and, someone who would like to have a copy of every character, I think I'm gonna end up summoning, very sadly. So if you want to see live summons, hopefully they don't go too bad. I should be live whenever the patch drops, so if you haven't subscribed already, feel free to do that if you want to stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's go over the character really quickly. We're gonna look at the banner. I'm gonna give you some personal opinions after watching videos on the character on JP this week, and maybe some thoughts. I don't know. Okay, so he is a green unit, which is fine, I guess. I mean, it's not great considering they literally just buffed the Bond team, which is a human red team. Or technically, I guess they just gave the human team a new character. I would call it a human team more than a Bond team nowadays, but either way. He is a green character, so he's not going to play very well with Reinhardt, of course. His stats are atrocious. Whatever, I don't know what they were thinking with releasing this character with the stats that he has, but he's pretty bad. In most cases, the old Chandler, especially because the old Chandler just got a holy relic, the old Chandler seems to be better in a lot of scenarios. But, I mean, the upsides to the character is he is a sub-slot unit. His passive works in the sub-slot, which is, I guess, good if you don't really want to use his cards. So that's pretty much it for the upsides, unfortunately. His cards are pretty okay. Like, I don't know, the removes buff is situational, of course. It can come in handy. I'm not going to knock that. The Pierce card is nice. Honestly, AoE Pierce cards are pretty good in the meta right now, I have to say. But his ultimate, he's a brand new unit, brand new cosmetics, new name, new everything. So there's no reason for him to have this ultimate, but he already cancels buffs. And they gave his ultimate a cancel buff and stance, just like really old school Meliodas, and he'll stun for 1 turn. And I'm not really sure why they did this. I don't think the old Meliodas does this or not, but they basically like buffed it, quote unquote. They buffed it, I guess, to make 6/6 stun for 2 turns. Okay. So that's awesome. I don't know, man. His kit the Pierce card is probably the best thing he's got going for him. And then his passive is if all allies participating in battle are applicable allies, which in this case are demons or commandment units. So he's literally pinpointed down to using only on the demon team, which is fine because he's a demon. But they keep making characters a little bit more exclusive to certain teams, which is okay. But when a character is this rough, you would kind of hope to have a little bit more flexibility with the character. But if the characters are of the applicable allies, increases all allies penetration, which is pierce rate, by 40%. And when applicable allies attack the enemy, increases damage by 10% up to 30% for every debuff on the enemy, which is okay, I guess, but I don't know. There's from my understanding, there's not a whole lot of situations where you can really run, a whole lot of debuff characters with, well, maybe not. That's not necessarily the right wordage there. You can obviously run debuff characters. You can run Green Sario Link, blah blah blah. But 30% is not a super big buff, even at max, and it's he's giving a pierce rate buff, so you would want to run a pierce rate unit, i.e. Trader Meliodas or someone else with a Pierce card. But Assault mode seems to be the biggest, like shoe-in for the Demon team at the moment. And that's mainly, gonna help with the debuffs thing, because Trader Meliodas helps put debuffs on. Having Festival Zeldris in the back helps, sort of make that better. But I've seen gameplay with him on pretty much every team you can put him on at this point, and he really just, he does okay at best. And I mean, that's, I guess, all right. I think that he's suffering from the thing that most new units kind of suffer from nowadays, where they kind of, I feel like they're just releasing the unit half done. I feel like when he gets a holy relic, he'll be complete. I don't know what his holy relic is even going to be in this situation. Like, I couldn't even give you a rough estimate or like a rough guess. But I'm assuming the holy relic is what's holding this character back. But even then, his stats are bad. His ultimate is not going to change, and his ultimate is bad. You know, it's a single target for one, which, you know, single target ultimates are okay, but they need to be able to pretty much one-shot in the meta nowadays. And it's a stun. Like, yeah, I don't know. It just... it's just kind of bad. Pierce rate card's okay, like I said, but this card definitely could have been different. Something would have been better. I don't know. If he was a double AoE unit, maybe it would have been better. I know a lot of people were wanting Zeldris to be the double AoE unit, but I mean, he has one AoE. I guess they're trying not to do 2 AoEs on demon units to make it super OP and quick to get, you know, the encroachment out, because I honestly think if we get like a really good double AoE demon unit, it's going to make the team so much better. It's going to be hard for other teams to compete. Because, you know, if you've got enough CC to go first and you're getting 3 encroachment stack or 3 darkness stacks out on all enemies turn 1, you know, like with the Demon Hendrickson team, the only reason Demon Hendrickson's not like boosting the team to like the best meta team you've ever seen is because Demon Hendrickson himself is not great. If Demon Hendrickson had an AoE Pierce card or something that wasn't just like a debuff, it could be a lot better. But either way, I don't know. The character's just really rough around the edges. Honestly, already needs a holy relic. I don't know. If we look at the banner is, sorry to flashbang you with this white screen here. Sorry, the JP patch notes are blindingly bright. He is obviously rated up. The old Chandler's on the banner, a couple of other commandments. Or I guess demons. All of these are demons, technically. But there's a couple of OCs on the banner for whatever reason as well. I'm not really sure why they decided to do half demon, half OC banner, but I don't know. There's a couple of catastrophe events going on with this update as well, so maybe that's why. But the only thing in here that I would even maybe consider getting dupes of is mono. For me personally, I mean, I guess if you don't have an OC team or the characters to make an OC team, you would basically want mono and I guess Easton, because the rest of these characters really aren't that great. And then demon wise, I mean, the old Chandler would be nice to pull, I guess, and then I really don't know if I would recommend any of these other ones. So yeah, it's a 600 banner. It's a bad banner. The unit's pretty rough, so easy skip. I don't know what to tell you. Hoping for a decent holy relic. That's probably the only reason I'm going to summon, to try to grab a copy of the character, have him built up for whenever a relic does drop eventually. And hopefully I'm not let down when that happens. So that's pretty much it from me. If you have any interesting thoughts, or, you know, if you've been watching gameplay of the character, maybe you play on JP, maybe you've experienced the character, let me know what your thoughts and opinions of him are down below. That is basically it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I will be live for summons whenever the banner drops, so if you want to subscribe for that, and feel free to, you know, come by and chat with me while I do it, because we'll probably be messing with some of the content in the patch as well, then feel free. But other than that, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.